is up, YouTubers? This is your boy Cartoon, and I'm here today to bring another Bleach Brave Souls video. I'm going to be doing the 6-star 100% character analysis on none other than Nibun Taitaicho, Shihoin Yoruichi. That's right, I'm going to be doing the 6-star 100% character analysis on the captain of Squad 2 and the 22nd head of the Shihoin clan, Yoruichi Shihoin. So, without further ado, let's get into the Flash Master herself. Alright, so looking at her stats, she's pretty clean on paper. I mean, it's not outstanding stats, but they're pretty okay for, you know, older 5-star into 6-star. So her stamina is 705, pretty decent. I mean, not really. I mean, she's a brawler type, so you kind of want more stamina. I wish it was a little higher, but I'll take what I can get. Attack 560. This is actually an impressive stat. I mean, usually they don't get high attacks like this, so I'm actually proud of this one. Defense 261. Not on the high side. It's a little above the average, but you know, I'll take it, I guess. Focus 240. Once again, we don't really focus on this particular attribute of the character, this particular stat, but you know, it's below the average, and that kind of stinks. SP is 505. This is kind of in the midway mark to being okay. It's pretty semi-decent. You wanted it like above 520 or so, you know, into 600. That's what states that they're going to have really high strong attack damage, but 505 is pretty respectable, and I'll take it. Alright, and she's a normal attack damage link to boot. Alright, so let's check her soul tree. Alright, so looking at her soul tree, we'll notice that she has 5 attainable upgrades, none of which block her path into going to 150. So all you need to do is augment her and provide her with the appropriate jewels, which will be SP jewels. Alright, so you don't have to actually provide her with any of the raid characters in order for you to level her up. That's always a plus for farmers alike. Now, let's go into her upgrades. Sprinter increases the number of flash steps. Pretty standard for most characters, but she already has a multi-flash steps before she even gets this ability, which makes her insanely fast. Next, long stride. Whoa, this increases the flash step distance. So now she'll be able to cover more area with multi-flash steps. This is insane. I've never seen a character get something like that. She's the only one for now. Alright, next, long reach increases attack area of effect. That's a plus. Alright. Next, devastation increases special move damage. This is the weaker one out of the two, bombardment in itself, and I don't really care about special augmentations. You know how I feel about them. Throwaways. Next, frenzy increases strong attack hits. This is a big plus because, you know, that's an extra strong attack damage. You know, now that decent SP is actually looking really good. Alright, so she's looking like a pretty fun character, pretty decently fun, I guess. But without further ado, guys, please enjoy the clips. Running a sad build. Sad build, Shinji raid quest, full boosterinos. Let's get it poppin'. Sad build. Alright, so first things first, since we're testing out a strong attack damage build, let's test out those cooldowns. So first strong attack, 8 seconds. Second strong attack will be 16 seconds, and final strong attack is 24 seconds as usual. Alright, so let's go and test out the strong attack damage with this build. Alright, so wow, that's pretty decent damage. She's able to knock out entry level mobs with her first strong attack at the very least, and that's attributed to her frenzy, and it's capable of doing somewhere around 4k damage easily, 4 to 6k damage. Her second strong attack actually hits 4 times, and somewhere around 16 to 2k it can do per hit. So you know, it's a pretty decent sizable amount of damage, but her last strong attack actually hits 3 to 4 times, so it does a sizable amount of damage. Wow, okay, she takes damage like a little punk. And that's attributed to her really low defense and low stat count. But her evasive maneuverability is crazy. She's just able to go across the board with that long stride and the extra additional flash steps that she already has on her character, plus the ones from her attainable upgrade. It's just crazy. You know, she's definitely, you know, someone you can coordinate and co-op with and be really fun, especially with a strong attack damage build. I like it. It's pretty okay. You know, it gets a pretty decent score. Strong attack damage. Right. Let's test out Yoruichi's special. No attention time. Alright, so that's how much damage she does. Running a SAR build. SAR build, Shinji raid quest, full boosterinos. Let's get it poppin'. Alright, so first things first, since we're testing out a SAR build, let's test out these cooldowns, especially with that new Rangiku. First strong attack, 5 seconds. Second strong attack, 10 seconds. And final strong attack, 15 seconds. I kind of like those cooldowns. Let's get it. Alright. So her normals do pretty okay damage, I guess. I don't really like where her normals are. But her evasive maneuverability and the fact that you very, very low cooldown times, especially for this first one that just lets you kind of close the gap between you and mobs, it actually is a really effective playstyle to play this way. Because while you're, like, you know, providing a sufficient amount of DPS to the main guy, you could bide your time, but you know, her strong attack damage suffers heavily. She can't really even knock out entry level mobs with her first strong attack as she could with the strong attack damage build. I guess it was because it was just barely. So losing that extra 60% augmentation onto strong attack damage, just it makes her suffer greatly. Not to mention that you have to remember, when it's a frenzy and a strong attack damage build, it's going to do a lot more damage because of the fact that it's two different attacks that are being augmented side by side when they're hit with a strong attack. But she's not producing that much damage. She just has really good maneuverability, and she takes to the build really well as a SAR build is supposed to. She has really, really good control, and I actually like this build with her. SAR build. I'm shocked. Running a NAD build. NAD build, Shinji raid quests, full boosterinos. Let's get it poppin'. NAD build. Well, alright. So, first things first, since we're running a NAD build, we want to see her string. So, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1. Alright? So she has a 4-hit string essentially, but she also has multi-hits in that string. I believe it's 2 hits, but it kind of looks like 3. I don't know if it's one of those things, but it's kind of hard to count sometimes. So forgive me if I'm wrong, but I think it's 3 hits. 1, 2. Yeah, so let's get into this. Ooh, wow. She actually, her first 2 hits, thankfully, actually produced sufficient damage. But, let me see. 28, yeah. 2.2k with 100% augmentation on attack, of course, is going to do really well for any green characters. But, you know, let's see her strongs. Her first strong still produces somewhere around 3k. Her second produces somewhere around 2k, which is weird. And her last strong attack actually produces still sizable amount of damage. I mean, it's definitely cut in half from what it used to be. But still good damage. Yeah. But not really helpful. When you get into her normals, they're just doing immense damage. And she actually has pretty decent AoE forefront. Alright, that's something that you don't really see with most brawler types. And she's able to just clear up the field in seconds. Can't even finish her string before she gets rid of things. Of course, the NAD build is the fastest, and it's pretty viable with this character. I enjoy it. Well, there you have it. That's my 6-star 100% character analysis on Captain Yoruichi. In the end, you find out that this character is particularly great with a NAD build as it gets the top score. A SAR build gets the secondary score, and a SAD build gets the final score. And the breakdown for this is fairly simple. When it comes down to a NAD build, she can increase her NAD to 85%. That is a big plus for these types of characters, and it's due to her having that as a link, embedded in her character. Next, her frenzy actually produces sizable amounts of damage even with a NAD build, whether you have SP or not. It just still produces a significant amount of damage, and it provides really sufficient DPS for when you're using a NAD build. Her quick NAD string allows for her to produce 2 quick hits that will produce somewhere around 2 to 2.7k. That's a big plus for these kinds of characters. Alright, a SAR build gets the secondary score, and for various reasons it actually has a really good clear time, and it has good control over the mobs on the field. So good crowd control. Because of the frenzy, she's actually going to be doing sizable amounts of damage, and her normal attacks aren't so bad, but I've seen a lot better from a lot other characters. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is. And a SAD build, it's very close in clear time with the SAR build. It's just a lot less interactive and biding your time for these strong attacks that may or may not one-shot certain mobs. It's just really bothersome. You definitely would have to mix in some SAR with that to actually make it a fun or viable build, but you can still use a full strong if you wanted to. It is all up to you. But if you wanted my opinion on this character, I'd say she gets a B+ rating, which means level her up. I just based on my bias, I definitely would tell you to level her up. I like her as a character. I felt like Caleb paid homage to the Flashmaster side of Yoruichi in giving her that long stride and flash step and allowing her to cover so much distance. I mean, it's really not much needed on a character, but it's really cool to kind of mess around with, and I have a blast in co-op with this character particularly. Also, she actually does get things done fairly quickly, especially when her attribute or her killer attribute advantages are activated and being utilized. So she's gonna produce sizable amounts of damage, and I find her a fun character altogether. So if you wanted my opinion, I would say level her up all the way up. She deserves the jewels, guys. It's Yoruichi. Come on, it's the Flashmaster. But that's just my analysis. You're more than welcome to make up your own opinions on this matter, because that's what this is about, guys. But either way, that's my video. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe. As always, I'll be bringing you more Bleach Brave Souls content throughout the week. I'm your boy Scartoon, and I'm signing out of here. Dude, chill. Productions!